I just like I never do my flasks. Like it's like the simple stuff that's like super easy. Like I didn't do that. But like I've got a 6 link. I got a 6 link first day of the league. Second day, I think it was might have been second day of the league. I got that. But nah, bro, like I'm still using the flask from like Act 1. Yeah, that's my life. Oh, anointment? What anointment, bro? What anointment thing, homie? What do you mean? Yeah. That's the way I live. And so, alright, guys. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. I'm gonna wait for the buff, and then I'm gonna run all my Calandra maps. I'm assuming it's gonna be retroactive. Okay, so, let's see. I actually, before we get started, let me go ahead and get out some of Exile. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. We're gonna get this open. Let's see. Get this open. We're just gonna look at some of the highlighted clips. Nothing specific, and then we've also got a few other videos. Where is it? No. Okay, it's right here. Okay. And then, who else did a video? Sorry guys, I have to pause everything so I can, sell a ring. For 2C. Nice. That's like 3 hours worth of maps. Okay, so we got that. Ziggy D, right? Let's see. Yeah, this is it. And then also... Okay. We got all this ready. We got this ready. Okay. Camera on this channel, what? Feels strange? I only turn it on to do videos. And this is it. Beer and gaming? No, I don't know if I want to watch the whole thing. The thing is, like, I'm gonna watch a clip from Empyrean, but I don't want to watch the whole video. Because, like, these guys are gonna talk about it in, like, a more general sense, whereas, like, Empyrean is, like, this guy plays this game like he's a scientist, okay? So, like, it's a different situation. Alright. Anyway, I guess, yeah, I think we've pretty much got everything ready to go. Okay, guys, a lot of you guys may or may not know, I play Path of Exile a lot. I've played it ever since the closed beta. I do not play every league. I usually do every other league or every 3 leagues. I play the new expansion releases, etc. And today I'm making a video because I think that the PoE community has never been more mad. I remember whenever streamers got priority queue in Ritual League. It was great. Except not according to Reddit. And it was so bad, Chris Wilson had to make a tweet, or not a tweet, a post on Reddit saying that streamers aren't going to be able to get priority queue anymore. And the main fucking, the main offender of this was this gentleman right here, Empyrean. And it's gotten so bad, Reddit fucking hated him. This guy was public enemy #1. And the other people in the group were 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And guess what? It's gotten so bad that a video that he did is on the top. It's a front page, first post, top post of PoE. It's not good. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of set the stage, talk to you guys a little bit about what happened. Basically, we had effectively, Path of Exile did this in 3.15. Am I right about this? Expedition League, where things got really massively nerfed. And they've done it again now, where they've added effectively a league mechanic. Yes, and this was a cock in the ass. I thought they kind of needed to rein things in a little bit, but now it's like you can't even get out of the stables. Holy fuck. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. Now, I played the game. What's my slash played? Oh shit. What's my slash playtime, maybe? How can I get my playtime? Yeah, how can I slash... Well, I tried that. Didn't work. Oh, why didn't it work the first time? That was awkward. 1 day, 11 hours. So I've put in 35 hours into this league. So we're at a rate of about 1 Chaos Orb an hour. We're actually a little bit below that. And I just sold a ring before I recorded this video for 2 Chaos Orbs. So it's not looking good for the league. And to put this into context, like, people don't understand like what this is, right? Imagine a Chaos Orb is $1, and imagine an Exalted Orb is like $100 bill, right? Bro, I had 3 Benjamins, 3 Exalties at the exact same time at this league, last league. Like, I had, I think, probably, what was it? Like 3 or 4 Exalts on, like, the second day of the league. And it was bad, man. It is really fucking bad. Now I've got 6 pieces of it, and then now Exalts suck, so it doesn't even matter. And so, basically, like, they cut down, like, what the Path of Exile is right now is it's the Great Depression, basically. And the players are depressed, the streamers are depressed, Reddit is depressed, and Chris Wilson came out and he made a post about this, and I think that it might be the most downvoted post ever. I think that I saw a post about this. It was the most downvoted post ever that they have ever. Yes, it is. And so Chris Wilson, being the diplomat that he is, he did not include the advertisement for the mystery boxes, the loot boxes, in the Reddit post. However, on the official website at the bottom of this post, there is a link to the loot boxes. So, you know, he's an eternal diplomat here. And basically, a lot of players have come out and they've been very unhappy about the state of the league. I think that you could pretty much sum up, shit is too hard, and you don't get enough shit. Those are the main problems with the league. Is that nobody's getting any stuff, and the stuff you do get, oh, by the way, if you want to make your shit into better shit with crafting, by the way, you can't do that, because crafting in itself is shit. Okay? So I feel like I'm Mr. Leahy here. It's not looking good. And we've got a lot of, it's the shit rain. And that's what happened. And so they took this buff that was on the last league, and they applied this buff to every single rare mob in the game. So that means, like, you know, whenever you do a breach and like 10 rare mobs run at you, oh, there's only 4 now, but everyone kills you. And so it added like a force multiplier to all of the content in the game, and it made it way harder. And Harvest is, you guys might not know this, it's like reforging, and it's like, it's reforging plus in Path of Exile. And you know the farmer meme where it says, it ain't much, but it's honest work? One of the biggest memes in PoE is whenever they posted that picture, but they just blacked out the, but it's honest work. And it just says, it ain't much. And that was the last time it got nerfed. Now they've itemized all of the different buffs that you could put on your gear from Harvest. And basically there was a problem that they had, and we're gonna look at this. Let's go ahead and look at this. Players are now noticing occasionally Harvest encounter can no longer have any life force drop. This is because in order to reduce the number of clicks after an encounter, the life force from beasts below tier 3 had a non-guaranteed chance to drop. Which, I mean, let's have a logic check here. Chris is right. You can't loot anything. You can't click on the screen if there's nothing to click on. Problem solved. And so Harvest effectively has been gutted. Many people's specs have been gutted. The game is now having elites in it, and I do think that on a fundamental level, the balance it's fucked. We should not play a game where like random yellow elites are always stronger than the map bosses. Like, you go through a map, and whenever you get to the boss, it's like, oh, finally, this will be easy. Meanwhile, every yellow boy you see, it's like, oh my god, am I about to get deleted off of the face of the earth? It's nuts. They can one-hit you too. Yeah, exactly. And so these mobs are just like randomly overpowered. And I actually don't think the problem is with the mobs. I think that the worst 5 to 3% offenders of like weird combos of Arch Nemesis buffs with other resistances where like the mob has like 734% fire resistance. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll just show you a video. This is what it's like. Where is it? I fucking had it. Where'd it go? There it is.
Tava touch soul leader. Oh shit, big juice coming.
So basically,
One or the other.
Basically what happens is that you have a mob that is just, he gets so many buffs and he is so powerful that he exceeds the effective health pool of the hardest bosses in the game because of these different multipliers. Yeah, and right, so this is, by the way, guys, it's a 3-minute video. Arch Nemesis has been nerfed 10 times so far. It's still fucked up. I think that if at the end of this fight, if this motherfucker dropped the mirror shard, it would be badass. I actually don't think this is a problem, other than, like, you know, some, like, crazy imbalances. But, like, if this motherfucker dropped the mirror shard, everybody would be like, oh my god, I hope I get one of those, right? Oh my god, this would be so cool, right? The problem is the fucking loot. Yes, you're right. Like, the 3 to 5% outliers with Arch Nemesis are dog shit. But I will agree with GGG. I will say that I think that the Arch Nemesis modifiers, in general,
give me big loot.
Of course it's going to give big loot. Surely it'll give big loot. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be at least 2 mirror shards. I think that in general, the modifiers are more interesting, more visually dynamic, and better than the base modifiers. And I think that matters. I do. And I think that the Arch Nemesis modifiers are generally better modifiers, minus a handful of them.
This is what the rare changes.
But the problem is that the design and the rewards are so bad it doesn't feel good. Like yesterday, I fought against a dog, and in the game. It's no Michael Vick shit. In the game, and I killed it finally in the game, and I got 4 items that had 6 sockets that were linked. Like a 6-socket linked item. I got 4 of them in 1 kill, and that mob took me a while to kill. And you know what? I wish I could kill him again.
I promise you, this is gonna give
I would love it. Okay? I would be so excited.
If it doesn't,
but the problem is that a lot of the mobs that you kill, well, let's just take a look here. Let's see what we're gonna get.
Someone kept count of how long I've been fighting this thing. Imagine if this, like, wasn't just a skeleton, too. Imagine if this was, like, a Katava's Herald or something. I'd be at, like,
I mean,
1/10.
Imagine if it was Katava. Oh wait, it'd be already dead if it was.
Alright, here we go. Here it comes.
The god of destruction.
Here it comes.
So, a lot of you guys might not necessarily understand what all of these pieces are. So, let me give you a description of what these pieces are. So, we've got the Karui Chopper right here. Superior Legion Sword. It's, this is the Superior Legion Sword. And, ooh, Shrieking Essence of Anger. Let's go ahead and get that right there. And now we have the Cupcake Wrapper, which is supposed to represent the Nightmare Bassinet. So, guess what? People are not happy with the League. And I like to watch a couple of videos and look at some clips and talk about what some of the people in the community are frustrated about. And again, Chris Wilson came out. Chris Wilson is the main guy over there at PoE, right? He's the guy that, you know, it's like he's the guy, if you're mad about the game, it's his fault. There's a bunch of people that work on the game, but doesn't matter, it's his fucking fault. Because that's the guy everybody fucking knows. And so anyway, yeah, Mr. Pathvex is the lead dev. It is what it is. Yeah, he's a Jay Wilson, right? And he basically said that the reason why people were getting less loot is that there was a nerf to the global loot modifiers that nobody knew about because it wasn't in the patch notes. But now that people are bringing it up, I might as well come clean. Yes, guys, we did nerf the loot by 80%. Or was it 90? And so he made a tweet about, or a post about this, and I think that this post, it's like gasoline on a fire. And so we're gonna go ahead and look at a few of the opinions from some of the well-known PoE streamers. And I know that a lot of you guys might not know everybody here, so I'm gonna do like just a very small, like, you know, who is this? This guy, he basically finds a way to make this game look like a complete joke. And he does it so much that people hate him. So this guy, basically, imagine he has a printer in his hideout, which is like your garrison or your house in PoE, and it just prints money, but it's not illegal. This is what this guy does with 6 other people. They make a bunch of money, they flood the market, and then they just goof around for the rest of the league. And so let's go ahead and listen to what he thinks. Sorry, volume. Apologies, let me turn it up again. What the hell? It didn't work. Muted? How'd that happen? This is sorry guys. Give me a minute. Yeah, let me just it sorry, volume's not great.
Yeah.
Well done.
No. Well done.
Alright, I'm logging out. I am not being a number on this game anymore.
Yeah.
I refuse.
Fuck this.
I think. Holy fucking.
They're quitting the game.
I've already voted with my wallet. I'm now voting with my concurrent
I have not
player
voted
account.
supporter pack. I have not voted
Same.
boxes.
Same.
What the fuck, man?
So he quit. Right? I mean, like, that's one person. And then this is Steel Mage. Steel Mage is one of the most well-known hardcore players. He's pushed ladder. He's competed in the Gauntlet. And he's done this for a long time. I think there have been leagues where Steel Mage was the first, if not in the top 3 to level 100. One of the most serious tie-in players of Path of Exile.
Cause yeah, someone in chat said it really adequately. This definitely took the wind out of my sails. I feel so fucking demotivated. What's the point of playing softcore trade if you can't juice? And what's the point of playing SSF if you can't craft gear? I don't know what to do.
Crafting also got nerfed massively.
I don't know what to do.
So there's another one. So that's another guy that's very serious. Every streamer's down bad for PoE. People like the game a lot. So this is Ben. Ben, well, here's how you know Ben's good at the game. Is he doesn't even use a webcam and people watch him.
Arcanist box. Duplicate. Duplicate!
So Arcanist box, usually they have really good loot in it. Like, I'm talking like big dick loot. It didn't. It did not have... It didn't... See, so basically, like, what should have happened is, like, effectively, like, there should have been, like, a metaphorical bust-a-nut on the screen of currency. And instead of that, he got 0 currency. Now, Chris Wilson has come out and said that was a bug. And next time, whenever he opens it up, there will be 2 Chaos Orbs in the box. Let's go to the next one. So right here, is this... So you can obviously tell this guy is like a massive fucking neckbeard. And it has nothing to do with the way he looks. He's got a fucking headhunter. It's the first week of the league. Okay, I don't need to say anything else. Okay? For anybody who doesn't understand what a headhunter is, it's inspired learning. Okay, it's gonna be a headhunter tomorrow. This guy plays the game fucking constantly. I've watched like 10 of his videos.
It was all a fever dream. There's no hard mode. There was no quantity nerf. And Arc Nemesis? What's that, man? That doesn't exist, huh?
He's having such a bad time. He's role-playing in his own mind that he's playing a league that came out over a year ago. That's how down bad this guy is right now. He's role-playing in his own mind, and read the chat. The chat is going along with it.
Magma barrier? No, what are you talking about, dude? And we wake up, and it's Ritual League again, and I'm playing Cold BV with Legacy Explode. Oh, I lost, dude. I'm back
They nerfed
home.
Explodey like two leagues ago.
I log in, and Hearth spawns, and I'm like, oh, hello, Hearth. Hello,
Yeah.
Backstuff. I vendor a 6-link. I get a Divine. An Exalt drops. Pog. I'm pogging out, dude. I got an Exalt drop. I'm back home.
They're all getting hyped
Back
up
home.
about something that
on
happened.
Twitch.
It's not even
It's
real.
Juke Dog, dude. He's there. And he lost his XPs. I'm back home, dude.
That's sad. Fucking love Cute Dog. I remember I watched a clip of him kicking somebody out of a group in Lost Ark. Man, that shit was funny. And so let's see if I find any more of them. Oh, this guy right here, he's one of the guys like on YouTube. If this guy makes a build or something like that, I will watch it. This guy really fucking knows what he's doing. This is another very, very serious player.
I mean, the league is dead for sure. Like, the league is absolutely dead.
This is after he's reading a post from Chris Wilson.
Company is out of touch and arrogant. Doesn't even listen to the feedback that people give them. I don't know who is working there.
I mean, there it is. It's another one. I got one more to go. Like, I don't have one more because I'm running out. By the way. I have plenty more, but we're just gonna watch this one, then we're gonna watch another video. This guy is a minion legend. Well, he was, until they made minions bad. This guy, like, for any time that you want any information about minions and PoE, this guy knows all about it. He actually knows how to craft minion gear in PoE. There's only like 6 people in the world that know how to do that. Here we go. Let's hear how he feels about the new league. Yeah, he's Overlord. Overlord IRL.
Killed him. I can't give these guys more defense. I've used every tool
He's talking about his
available in the entire game to make these guys survive, and a non-damage modded tier 16 kills them. This is not okay. And I reached out to GGG.
For context, damage mods in a tier 16 can multiply the output by like 400%. So, like, imagine what it's like with the mods.
Raising my concerns before the league
and that's not
launched
even the
about
hardest
things
content.
like this. And the answer I received was that it's been play tested. It felt fine for us. You should just, I don't know what to say. You should try it out in when league launches and see how it feels.
We did.
Tell you what, I have play tested it. I have tested it, and I don't like it. I don't like it. It's shit.
A man after my own heart.
Hit the like button, subscribe for more content. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, stay safe. Keep rocking.
You know, part of me feels good watching this because, like, it's not only WoW. Like, I'm not the only person that's experienced this horse shit. Like, there's other people out there in the world that have experienced the same thing that I have. You know what I mean? Let's go back over. We will look at the Alkaiser clip. Okay, Alkaiser, originally, where is it? Where the fuck is it? There it is. Alkaiser became known because he was the first person in the entire world to get Paragon 100 in Diablo 3. And it was not even remotely close. Nobody else was probably even level 90 by then. This guy, basically, like, the runs that people did in Diablo 3 were made, they were called Alkaiser runs. Okay? And he plays PoE every single fucking league. He even plays the Gauntlets, too, which are like the mini leagues. Here we go.
People don't get excited over things taken away from them. Like, you wake up one day and, like, someone took a pair of scissors and snipped off an inch of your dick, right? Like what? You expect someone to be appreciative of that? Oh, look, appreciate the rest of the dick that you have left. Nobody's gonna think like that or feel that way. You know what I mean? Not one person's gonna be like, oh shit, wow, look, I still got, like, this much of my dick.
Half of it left.
I'm happy about that.
Nobody wants their dick cut off. And the thing is, it's like GGG didn't come in there, like, you know, every patch, and they come in there and it's just another minor circumcision. Like, this is a fucking straight up castration. And people are not happy. We're gonna watch a video about this. Now, there's 2 videos. We'll probably watch both of them. This is a video by Ziggy D. Ziggy D is so well respected and known in the community that oftentimes following the announcement of a new league, he even does a podcast with Chris Wilson and sometimes other people on that same day on the Path of Exile channel, I believe. Very, very well known, very well respected. Made a video today why the Path of Exile community is very upset. Well, now, let's find out. Let me turn this down. I have something on my character. I'm trying to sell it for 50 Chaos Orbs. But I was thinking to myself, nobody has that many Chaos Orbs, so I'm never going to be able to sell it. Like, there's no way that somebody can get that amount of currency this early into the league. It's only been 3 days.
G'day, ZiggyD here. The Path of Exile's player base is the most united I've ever seen. Unfortunately, it's over being very unhappy with the current state of the game and developer Grinding Gear Games' initial response to their complaints. I wanted to give a summary overview as to what's going on and what people are upset about. Now, as this is more of a drama recap than actual content, I've opted to disable the monetization that I can, since I don't really want to feel incentivized to make drama content. Just in this...
Never fucking do that. Never do that. Because people will always find, they'll always find some kind of a way that you get an advantage for it. And you never play into the people that try to pull that angle with you. Because if people are trying to pull that angle on you, they don't like you, they don't fucking agree with you, and they don't give a fuck.
Case, it felt worth making a video to give people a summary as to what's going on and share some thoughts, as a game and a community that I love is in a pretty rough shape right now.
Alright, here we go.
So there's lots of topics to cover. Let's just start with the new expansion, Lake of Calandra. The reveal for this new mirrored lake mechanic looked quite good. It promised a fun new system of build your own content that improved on some other similar systems we've had in the past. It also involved one of the more mysterious characters in Path of Exile's lore, Calandra, for whom one of the rarest items the Mirror of Calandra is named for.
That's right.
Quickly, players discovered that this new mechanic was not very rewarding. In fact, quite unrewarding compared to the state that most new content releases in. As such,
a lot of times whenever a new league mechanic comes out, it's ridiculously good. Like, I remember back, like, in Ritual League where people kept tweeting out pictures of, like, oh my god, I got a fucking headhunter in my ritual. I got a fucking guy got a mirror. He got a exalted orb, and then like even an ultimatum, people would get crazy. Like I got a lot of crazy shit in ultimatum. I'm gonna be honest. Like I fucking hated that league, but like I got a lot of crazy shit in there. And so it's like, yeah, it was raining cat, bro. Like that shit was nuts. And it was fucking annoying to play, too. And so, whenever a league comes out and the mechanic is bad, like, you have to understand about the Path of Exile community. These are people that can watch a 30-minute build guide video with no gameplay. And the only thing that you see is a bunch of spreadsheets and math. And then all the comments are like, wow, bro, this shit looks fucking fun, man. Oh my god, bro, like, I'm fired up. I can't wait to play this, dude. Oh my god, this is gonna be awesome, man. I watched the whole thing. Thanks for your videos. So you have to understand, these are the people that you are making content for. These are not people that just, oh, well, we play the game and I like doing these maps because they look cool. Bro, these people optimize the fun out of everything and they have fun doing that. If your shit is not optimized, people in PoE will not fucking do it.
When my permadeath character died in the lake yesterday, I felt a bit stupid because I died taking a big risk for the promise of very little return. This one was able to, maybe just the big bears.
I've gotten a couple of... To be fair, that was 100% his fault, right? Like, let's be honest. It was 100% his fault, but it is still, it still sucks to just get one-tapped like that.
I got toxic bonked.
Yeah.
Jesus. Now, while I like the overall design concept of the Lake of Calandra, in addition to being unrewarding, it doesn't really introduce any new content either. And the much vaunted reveal of Calandra has amounted to a bird lady taunting us a bit while we fight monsters. I had personally hoped for a bit more for Calandra and a bit more new content out of this league mechanic. Now, an expansion league mechanic releasing in an unrewarding state is not that big of a deal on the grand scheme of things.
It's only happened
Certainly,
half the
this has happened in the past and has been improved upon with patches following up. But it does mean that, in the current state of affairs, players can't really fall back on new expansion hype when other things in the game are currently upsetting them.
Exactly, right? Because, like, a lot of people there are many people who just skip the league mechanic. Like, honestly, I never did Expedition League. I got the Atlas Tree passive that, like, you never see them. Ah, fucking, there it is. Blissfully ignorant. And I have no idea about those. And so people usually just skip the League mechanic if they don't like it. But like never it's imposed on you. And you have Arc Nemesis. Yeah, Heist is another one. Like I do Heist once a League. I'll do all the Heist stuff. I'll get like 3x out of it and I'll never do it again. And I'll always tell myself, oh, this is really fun. I should do this more. I never do it again because it sucks. And anyway, the thing is with all of the different League mechanics and everything, a lot of times you can just skip them and do the stuff that you like doing instead. But because this Arc Nemesis, again, like Arc Nemesis, like think of it as like all of the rare spawns in the game are like completely re-modified and they're like 1,000 times harder. It affects everything in the game. You can't get away from the changes.
So on to some of those other issues. Next up we have Arch Nemesis. This is the system that was introduced last expansion to revamp rare monsters. Arch Nemesis was initially an expansion mechanic that allowed you to build a bare workshop your own rare monsters. It featured a long list of different modifiers you could stack on a monster to make them stronger and add mechanics to them designed to kill you in many unpleasant ways.
Which, by the way, I want to say again, I like a lot of the Arc Nemesis mods, and I think that they are an improvement over the base rare spawn mobs. I think that they are an improvement at a fundamental level. They are more interesting, they are more visually appealing, you can easily detect what they are without actually having to look at and read the text on the character. They are a tremendous, massive fucking improvement, and I can see why Grinding Gear Games wanted to push Arc Nemesis to the next level. But Resist and Life Stacking sucks balls. True.
It had a pretty middling reception as a expansion mechanic because
I like it.
While it could be pretty rewarding in terms of loot, most of the Arch Nemesis modifiers were frustrating to deal with.
Yeah.
A topic I've talked at on length in the past in podcasts and such. However, to keep things brief here now, we'll just say that these modifiers warped the gameplay around them quite a bit and frustrated players to a large degree.
Because if all the rare spawns have this and the game has rare spawns everywhere, then the entire game is now built around this system. It's kind of like, you know, like in Legion and WoW, it's like artifact power. Like, that's how prevalent it is. It's just, it's a facet of every aspect of the game.
3. Thankfully, they were contained only to Arch Nemesis Build-A-Monster mechanic, which you could avoid if you wanted. It came as a bit of a unpleasant surprise then when right after the Arch Nemesis expansion...
And I also want to say, sorry, I keep pausing. Whenever I say rares, that's what they are referred to as, but think of them as like elite mobs. And you will probably encounter in a random map 20 to 30 of these rares.
So this new list of modifiers was added to every single rare monster in the game.
Every single
On top of that, the rewards associated with these modifiers was removed.
Cock ass.
So we had very frustrating monsters that we could not avoid in every moment of the game, and they didn't drop any more loot than usual.
People are not
Several
happy.
patches were released to retune and remove some of the worst offenders of these Arch Nemesis modifiers, but many players continued to feel that the game as a whole had got worse with this new revamp to rare monsters, and it stayed this way for the rest of the league.
We only cut an inch off your
This
dick.
expansion, Arch Nemesis, got a little bit better again.
You've still got 2
There
more
are
left.
fewer rare monsters now, so you have more space to deal with them, and some unique and actually pretty decent rewards.
As if that matters whenever half of the on-death mechanics are obscured with the other mechanics that are on death, and then also the other spell effects, and then the ground effects that are happening from the other NPCs. It doesn't really matter. Visual clarity, I feel like, should be one of the prime goals of Path of Exile 2. It's so bad. It's slightly better now, but it's still awful.
Were added to some of the rare monsters as drops. However, for many players, it still felt like all gameplay in Path of Exile is being warped around these Arch Nemesis modifiers. I think this contributes to the current levels of unhappiness because it feels a bit like, while Arch Nemesis is gradually being patched into a better and better state, it's still fundamentally unfun and unavoidably so.
I think that Arch Nemesis is not fundamentally unfun. I think what's fundamentally unfun is fighting an Arch Nemesis mob and then 9 times out of 10 getting nothing out of it. I think that's what's fundamentally unfun, not the gameplay.
For myself personally, it's frustrating because I actually like the idea of Path of Exile having fewer, stronger, rare monsters that give out good rewards.
Yeah.
which is the intention of Arch Nemesis.
That's the way it used to
be.
be.
But this design is achieving that goal in a very unpleasant way.
Right.
I could discuss the problems with Arch Nemesis design and better ways to achieve these goals all day, but for the sake of expediency, we'll leave it there for now. Next up, another big reveal with this expansion was the long-awaited rework of an older League mechanic, Harvest.
They, as you can see here, there was a spelling error. Revamped, this vamped here is supposed to be moved, removed content Harvest. Apparently somebody at the office just messed up.
Harvest was a system of very powerful and rewarding item crafting that was fairly frustrating to deal with and couldn't easily be traded between players. You had to engage in risky, trust-based trading, often using third-party Discord groups to arrange these trades.
And it was also like, I hated getting Harvest in my maps, but I knew that it was so good that I couldn't skip it. Because, like, were you guys, like, the only ones, like, you do your, like, your map would be 10 minutes, and 7 minutes would be Harvest, and 3 minutes would be the rest of the map. I hated that. So, like, I actually think the currency system for Harvest is a genuine improvement. I just think the tuning for it is garbage. It breaks the gameplay. Yeah, you fuck around with it. You spend more time doing that than the map.
The new rework promised to make Harvest crafting mechanic fully tradable and potentially make it a lot nicer to engage with overall.
Yeah.
People were hyped for this announcement as the Harvest crafting system was loved by many, but it has been steadily nerfed over time to the point where many gave up on it entirely.
I think that some of the nerfs to the Harvest crafting were probably good for the game overall, because Harvest crafting was so strong that the entire game was warped around it. But I think that, like, again, it's like the top 10% offenders were bad, but the other 90% were totally fine. And also, like, for very casual players, Harvest was great. Because, like, Harvest would let you, like, for example, you need a lot of resistances, right? So if you have, like, capped out lightning resistance, but, like, overcapped, like, you only need 75% or something, and you have 110, well, you can convert part of that lightning to fire on a certain piece of gear, or to cold resistance, for example. Like, this is why Harvest was amazing for casual players. And I think that also, like, PoE in general, like, a lot of the problems that this is, like, running into is that it's designing the game around throttling the top 0.1% players. I think that's what's happening here, is like the top 0.1% players are being throttled, but I think that there's also a lot of casual players that are being damaged as well.
Finally, Harvest was getting some love.
Yeah.
The implementation matched
excited.
the expectations, unfortunately, of the biggest skeptics in the community.
Yeah.
The volume of crafting you are able to do after the revamp is heavily reduced to a tiny fraction of what you could do previously.
Yes.
And on top of that, many of the useful and powerful crafting options were removed. It was only stated previously that fluff and unnecessary crafting options would be removed, but options that allowed players to re-roll affix ranges, known as Harvest Divining, and options such as reforged suffixes and prefixes were also removed.
I love those.
Not only that, but the most common and entry-level crafting option, reforge a rare item with a guarantee.
That's like what, the thing is, like, that's the really good stuff, right? Because, like, let's say you get an item, and the item has, like, a really great roll. It has, like, a ton of life, but it has horrible resistances. Well, you can make a bad item good. You can make, like, how many times have you guys gotten something and it's, like, a perfect fucking roll on, like, 2 stats, but then everything else is garbage? Harvest allowed you to turn bad stuff into good stuff, and it made the game more dynamic because of that. I've had that happen many times, personally.
Specific modifier type was nerfed as well in an easy-to-miss way. There used to be 2 versions of this craft, and the stronger version was removed, leaving only the weaker one. This is easy to miss as the 2 were similarly worded. If I've lost you, suffice to say that what was hyped to be a really nice set of improvements to an older, beloved crafting system turned out instead to be a very, very heavy-handed set of nerfs instead. Similarly then, was the other revealed improvements to an older mechanic. Beyond was a very old expansion mechanic that spawned demons from beyond as you killed monsters.
Something like that.
To update this system, a newer league, Scourge, was recycled. The much cooler and much more modern Scourge monsters would replace the very dated Beyond monsters. Not only that, but the Scourge monsters would be bringing their unique drops with them. Very exciting, as Tainted Jewelers and Fusings in particular were very useful for easily improving the sockets and links on corrupted items. These tainted currencies would randomly add or remove a socket or link, resulting in a very reliable way of creating corrupted 6-link items. For those out of the loop, this means salvaging otherwise unusable items and allowing players another accessible route to get their required slots for their primary skills.
6-link item is like turning 21 being able to drink, or turning 18, or like it's like getting your driver's license, something like that. It's like boom, we're ready to go. Like that's like your build. Like your build is designed around a 6-link. So like you are realizing your build and getting your 6-link. So like if that's so important. Like in my mind, I think a new player should be able to get 6-link within like a week. Personally. PoE 2,
it was said that these would be reduced in effectiveness and in quantity available, but players were disappointed to learn that these tainted fusings went from what seemed to be somewhere around 50-50 odds of adding or removing a link or socket to something closer to a 10% chance to add and 90% chance to remove. A huge nerf to be sure, making these currencies quite useless outside of some long-shot gambles. So in total, this is several smaller disappointments in a row this expansion. Not enough to get everyone fired up, but certainly affecting many players. Unfortunately, there was something much bigger and much more fundamental brewing as well.
The loot.
It initially started as scattered reports of, is anyone else getting less loot than usual? Easy to write this sort of thing off because such claims are made every new wipe as people reacclimate to a fresh start.
Yeah.
However, the evidence kept mounting with people opening empty currency lockboxes, and it got to the point where even top farming players and groups started posting their abysmal loot compared to previous expansions. Something seemed
and it's also like the thing is, it was not always like, I actually don't think that it's super good for the game what Empyrean does. I don't think it's super good for the game. I mean, like, he's gonna do it, and that's badass, and I love watching it. But, like, it's not super good to have people printing currency like that because it's just bad for the economy. However, there are ways to address that without fucking killing everybody else's loot chances.
To be fundamentally broken, and many of us expected something was bugged. Especially since during the reveal it was mentioned that we should get excited about magic finding again, a loot finding strategy that was seemingly
people do get excited about magic finding because they now have to get excited about finding magic items.
Buffed. There was nothing in the patch notes, so speculations continued while we waited for word from the developments on what was causing this seeming bug. And that brings us to yesterday's news post, What We're Working On. This post promised some very measured and marginal improvements to Arch Nemesis monster difficulty, a small buff to the amount of crafts available from Harvest, and an unspecified buff to the reward level of Lake of Calandra's rewards.
That was also a problem, I think, with the Arch Nemesis and not nerfing the red map ones, because like for anybody that doesn't know, like red maps have more extreme modifiers. Like, you will roll, just on average, way more extreme modifiers on red maps than you will on, like, on yellow or white maps. So, like, you have a multiplier that's happening there. You have, like, the multiplier of, like, higher map mods on top of the multiplier of these, like, fucking, you know, capstone NPCs that have, like, 700% lightning resistance or something. It's nuts. Is this so bad that people are quitting after 3 days? Yeah, I think it is. Some people are quitting because they're hoping that the league is going to get better. Some people are quitting because, like, they feel like their time's not being... they're not investing their time in something that is enjoyable. Like, beating a target dummy for 3 minutes that can kill you if you get unlucky to get nothing doesn't feel good.
To be clear, all of these are good things, but they felt very conservative given the level of frustration that players were feeling at these problems.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And yeah, I mean, the thing is also with PoE, it's not like, by the way, it's not like, oh, if everybody gets all this loot, then everybody's going to get everything and beat the game. Like, what you have to understand is, like, so, look. So, like, this is, like, the Diablo 3 loot curve, okay? Right? This is the Diablo 3 loot curve. And this is like, you know, Ancient right here, This is Primal Ancient right here. This is the PoE loot curve. And by the way, it keeps going. It keeps going like 3 monitors up. Like, there is so much that you can do to make your gear better and better and better. It's like you're it's like you're like exploring the inside of an atom, and it's like you fucking realize that there's something inside of that, and then something inside of that, and it's like, wait a second, you can get like tailwind on your boots if you have like this craft from like this special orb, and like, wait, what the fuck? Like, oh, so you need synthesized items, and then you can get an implicit modifier that will increase the amount of endurance charges you, oh my god. Right? It's like, it's infinitely complex. So I don't want anybody to think like, oh, well, if they get the gear, they're going to quit. No, this game has like infinite gear. +1 all red, boys. Yeah, there you go. All red gems.
And the proposed fixes only tackled some parts of the problems.
Right.
For example, the removal and nerfs to harvest crafts that are available was not addressed at all. Only the volume of fuel players would get to use their remaining decimated crafting options. The biggest part of all, however, was the response to questions about all the seemingly missing loot drops. In particular, the following line came as a huge surprise. We removed a massive historic bonus to item quantity and or rarity that applied to some league-specific monsters.
We
replaced it with a moderate 2 to 3 times increase to item quantity to offset the fact that these often have more life.
So Milton will just go to work and he won't get paid. And we found these things just kind of work themselves out naturally. No effort here on your end, you're good.
Than regular monsters, and some cannot drop maps. What this means is that monsters from expansion league mechanics all had massive bonuses to item quantity and rarity as quoted, likely something like 1000% or more. We can only really make some educated guess as to the exact figures. This hidden scaling to loot drops was removed and replaced with a 2 to 3 times multiplier quantity only. While we don't know the exact numbers, this means that loot quantity was lowered by an estimated 50 to 80% from the monsters that tend to drop most of the loot in endgame maps. And the bonuses to rarity, which primarily affects dropping rare and unique items, seems to have been axed completely. I feel like we need a bit more context to what happened here exactly from GGG's side of things, but this certainly explains the effect players have been noticing on their loot drops.
Yes.
And this affects pretty much everyone, from the new players just starting out in endgame maps, to the veteran magic finding parties dumping hundreds of chaos investment into each map. The What We're Working On post followed up this shocking revelation with some promised improvements such as...
It's like they invest 150 fucking chaos orbs into a map, and they get 50 chaos orbs out of the map. Like, does that sound like a good deal to you? Yeah.
Skewing drops to have more higher level bases on average, and some bug fixes for edge case issues. However, the proposed improvements once again feel very conservative compared to the perceived magnitude of the issues amongst the community.
It's 10%.
This difference between the degree of changes proposed and the magnitude of issues as seen by the community feels a strong feeling of disconnect and helplessness, along with a loss of trust and waning optimism for the future. All of this is a very nasty...
I think a lot of people are very upset about this because obviously, you know, Path of Exile 1 is going to transition into Path of Exile 2. It's not like Path of Exile 2 is going to come out and it's like Halo 1 and Halo 2. It's going to be a... They're clearly going to be using... It's not like there's different people designing PoE 2. It's the same leadership doing it. So, like, if this game is problematic, then what's going to happen with PoE 2? It's like Overwatch 2. Yeah, exactly.
Recipe for a very unhappy community.
This definitely took the wind out of my sails. I feel so fucking
this one.
demotivated. What's the point of playing softcore trade if you can't juice?
He's talking about Empyrean's group again.
And what's the point of playing SSF if you can't craft gear? I don't know what to do.
We'll likely be getting the first of the proposed improvements in a patch today and over the coming days. Hopefully these scale up to some much larger improvements, because right now, to say that a large amount of players are frustrated with the current response from grinding gear games is an understatement.
Yeah.
I will say this, while it is important to get your thoughts out there in the hopes that the game...
Of a person who's, like, I'm not, like, as in the PoE community as these guys are, right? Like, I'm not, like... But I keep up with it a lot. I have never seen this much drama and this many people upset about anything in the game ever before.
That we all love is improved, it's okay and sometimes even a good idea to disengage from the game and the community afterwards if you're not getting from the game what you want to be getting from it.
That's true.
Or if your mental health is being affected by being immersed in the negativity, as warranted as it may be. Look after yourselves, exiles, and be kind to each other, especially during times of high frustration like this.
Don't give yourself a mental illness over a video game.
I hope this was a useful summary for some of you feeling a bit out of the loop. That's it for now. I'm Ziggy D, and thanks for watching.
That's a pretty, I think this is probably the most fair video you could imagine. I'm going to link it to you guys. We're going to watch Zackrawrr's video, then I'm going to go ahead and wrap everything up with my closing thoughts. Why am I up so late? I've just been fucking staying up late. That's why. I shouldn't be up late, but I wanted to do this because I want to be able to play the league, and it's bad right now, and I want it to be good. So like maybe if I make a video and talk about it, like maybe that would help. Like I don't know. Like I want to be able to I want to be able to clear the maps, and so yeah, there it is. Did you watch MP's video? I didn't watch it. I'll probably watch it off stream today, but like I'm not gonna watch it tonight. It will help. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at this second one here. Zackrawrr, huge friend of the stream. I've known this guy ever since he was PC Child. I've watched him for a very long time. He's been a PoE streamer for quite a while, and met him multiple times at TwitchCon, etc. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what he's got to say.
Hi, Zackrawrr here. Chris Wilson has posted on Reddit, and it's a big wall of text, and I'm going to read it. There's quite a large jump in difficulty from the campaign to early maps, as the number of Arch Nemesis mods and monsters arises abruptly. This not only affects their...
It's not because of that, it's because of the Arch Nemesis mobs with the multiplying factors. Like, you have a fucking Legion Elite that has Arch Nemesis modifiers. So it's already doing 300% damage. So whenever you take 300% and multiply it by 200%, that's a lot more than like 100% multiplied by 200%. That's why.
Average difficulty, but just how tanky they are. We're going to taper up more smoothly so that it's more gradual progression and is unmodified in red maps. This will result in less difficulty and less life on average for rare maps below red maps. To prevent life values getting out of hand on special league monsters with Arch Nemesis mobs, we'll also reduce the life bonus that each essence grants a rare monster and reduce a bonus that life red beasts have. We'll also review whether betrayal content is spawning too many rare monsters. Good. I was really worried they weren't going to touch on this. Good. Thank you. Harvest. Players have commented that the quantity of life force yielded by Zackrawrr is too low to how much the craft cost. Harvest yield currently scales up to around 10 times higher by the time you're in high maps with Atlas Tree specialization, rewarding
10 times 0 is still 0. Harvest still sucks. And then also, like, the harvest mobs, so, like, you have to understand it's, like, a lot of the mobs that are added into the league content, some of them are just, like, ridiculously overpowered. And one of the hardest mob base types are, like, the Katava Heralds. They're, like, the big guys that are almost, like, massive fucking bodybuilders, except for their demons from the fucking astral plane, and they can jump on top of you and shoot fire shit at you, and they can kill you so fucking fast. And yeah, Porcupine, that's another one. Yeah. And so these mobs, like, they are one of the hardest NPCs you can get. So they're already ridiculously fucking strong. So harvest mobs are already hard to kill, and then you add on the Arch Nemesis modifiers. Now you've just got yourself a cock in the ass. You've got yourself a 4-minute fight to get nothing.
For running higher maps, rolling your maps well, and specializing in harvest. We will rebalance the yield at lower maps so that League is more rewarding early on without affecting its yield at higher tiers. It's still terrible at higher tiers though!
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean? That's so bad! It's terrible! Have you not been in red maps? Players also noticed that occasionally a harvest encounter can result in no life force dropping. This was because in an effort to reduce the number of clicks, the life force from beasts below tier 3 had a non-guaranteed chance to drop, but was larger on average than it otherwise would be. This means you could occasionally get unlucky and receive none for that encounter. We're raising the chance of lifers dropping so it's less likely to receive none at all, while striving not to increase it to—
Why is there ever even a chance that you don't get anything? Why? Why? Like, is it gonna break the game if somebody's able to get it every time?
an enjoyable amount. Lake of Calandra. We are increasing the rewards from both League and non-League encounters throughout the lake, particularly at higher map levels and higher difficulties. We will raise the occurrence rate of regular, not ethereal, reflecting mist so they get more choices of reflected rare jewelry as a reward for playing harder encounters. We're also investigating some Lake of Calandra QOL, like marking which rooms are completed on the map. Nice. Okay.
I just think that the layout of the Calandra is shit. I think having to, if you ever have to backtrack, I'm mad. Even if it's for 5 seconds, I'm mad. I'm already mad. I'm wasting time now. I've got to backtrack. Fuck.
Great. General item drops. Players report that general item drops feel a lot lower in the expansion. There are 2 changes made in 3.19. The first is the rate of encountering rare monsters from certain League content has been reduced, so you're fighting, killing, and receiving rewards from fewer monsters than before.
Yes.
This is partially offset by rare monsters now being more rewarding. The second reason is that we removed a massive historic bonus to quantity and rarity applied to some League-specific monsters. We replaced it with a moderate increased item quantity to offset the fact that they have often more life than regular monsters. There have been no other reward-affecting changes that we are aware of, but we will investigate to see if there are any unanticipated consequences of some other changes. Our intention with these changes is to modify certain League content that was out of line with other content, thus a similar reward profile. These changes are important, but we understand they had reduced overall rewards that players receive. We are going to compensate elsewhere, but we don't want to just increase the raw number of items that are dropped. Most items are immediately filtered out. Yeah. We want to increase the number of relevant items that drop. Good. First, we are going to adjust the system that skews weapon armor bases towards the higher level ones, so that players find items that are relevant to their level more often. This isn't an increase to overall item drops. It'll just mean that you'll find more appropriate rare items. Second, we're going to play the same constellation approach we had to act bosses to map bosses. That sounds awesome. Because that was noticeable, the last one they did. This will result in you finding more unique items from map bosses. It's worth...
I think that, like, thematically, the map bosses should be the goal. Like, you should be excited whenever you kill the map boss because you're hoping that the cool thing from the map boss drops. Like, there are a handful of these, right? You can get, like, the first one comes to mind is the Brass Dome. That drops from Minotaur, right? Brass Dome's a really expensive chess piece. It makes it to where you move slow, and I think you take more electricity damage or some shit, but you can't be crit, and you've got, like, 9 million, or I think it's actually 6,000 armor. It's global drop now? Oh, okay, well then never mind. Yeah, so then the one cool example... yeah, they got rid of that one. So I don't have any examples, but like theoretically.
Noting that a widely shared clip of a player opening an Arctic strongbox receiving no items has caused some concern. We believe this was caused by the change where common currency drops less frequency but in larger stacks. We will fix this specific Arctic strongbox issue. These changes are not final, but we wanted to communicate our current thoughts immediately rather than wait. No. I mean, this is good, right? They communicate right after the weekend. I think most of the problems are fixable. This is going to come down to how good is the Lake of Calandra fixes. And this is terrible. This is awful. Good. So Harvest, It's
also, base game is still bad. We need more currency. Like, I just think players need more currency on a base level. The thing is, the game requires a certain amount of currency in order to be played, especially in terms of, like, just going through your maps. Like, you want to roll different maps, you want to give people the ability to get different maps, etc. And that requires chaos, that requires orbs of chance, it requires, like, guys, I'm having to fucking piecemeal out alchemy orbs. I feel like by the time I kill Kitava the first time, it's like if I get a good item, I just alk it. It's not a big deal. Now it's like, you know, I mean, like, oh, well, it's a bone helmet, but it's not 84 item levels, so I don't know if we should alk this one or not. I don't have a essence to craft like that. Yeah, I mean, let's just vendor it. It's nuts.
Keeping it removed. The Arch Nemesis stuff. I mean, this, I just have no idea. Hopefully this fixes it. This is addressing the problem I have with it. But at this point, they just remove Harvest. Either walk Harvest back or get rid of it. No. What?
Well, it's like, this is the problem with the rares, right? Is like, so like, let's say before you had 10 rares and each of them had, you know, 100% drop table, right? Well, if you take out 9 of the rares and there's only 1 rare left and it drops 200% loot, you're still losing 800%. Even though the 1 rare drops more than the 1 rare did before, in total, you are losing a lot of fucking loot. And that's, yes, a minus 800. Yeah, they learned from Diablo Immortal, but it was the wrong lesson. So, yeah, we have to have that. We want plus 800%, Chris, not minus 800%. This is maybe it's like a communication thing, right? It's a different game.
Don't walk it back. The new
like
system is way better than the old one. There is nothing worse than having to craft when you found a harvest. Like, I love the new, like, it should just drop 5 to 10 times more than what it's currently dropping. Like, I just need Life Force to drop. Each plot should drop a minimum amount that is enough for 2 min crafts. I agree. Absolutely.
I think more.
Okay,
maybe.
But if I want 5 blue on a strength item, but that should be rare. What do you mean? It shouldn't be easy to get 5 blue on a strength item. That's a good thing. Anyway, I gave this a...
It is a good thing, but, like, the way that you do it is, like... The thing is, if you knew how to craft, you could get 5 blue on a strength item and it'd be no big deal. It'd be no big deal. Like, if you knew how to craft, you knew how to modify it, you knew what to go with the base, you knew what the harvest crafts that you could swap the color codes for, you could do it. And I think that's great. The fact that, like, with a very high level of knowledge, you can take a task that is easy, or sorry, a task that is hard, and make it approachable, and I would not say easy, but accessible. And you don't do that by being good at the game, you do that with knowledge.
4 out of 10. 5 out of 10. It just depends what they end up doing and how much it fixes things. I'm very sad about the harvest thing.
Yes.
I fucking hate the league mechanic. I don't
hate it.
Okay, I haven't stopped doing it, but I've stopped doing it. I'm probably doing what most of you guys are doing.
Saving
This is what I'm doing right now. I'm just saving up mirror tablets, because why the fuck would I run it right now?
Yeah.
I'm just fucking
Everybody knows
them.
it's gonna get
So
buffed.
hopefully this makes it worth doing. General item drops are pretty low.
I'm not even gonna run it after the buffs. I'm gonna wait until other people run it. I'm gonna let them be the fucking guinea pig. And then I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, alright, maybe I'll run mine.
And like the Empyrean stuff and quantity stuff seems straight up bugged, and that isn't really addressed here. I'm pretty sure I had 2 or 3 Arcanist boxes last night that had nothing in them. I don't feel like this was the biggest problem. I just think loot in general is a bit shit. I got flamed for saying this. But 2 or 3 years ago, some of you might remember that I said that because Reddit has become more and more toxic with personal attacks and stuff like that, they were gonna stop communicating with us. And like, communication has changed so much. Reddit scared Bex away, no doubt. Oh yeah, I mean, Bex doesn't talk to us
I told them to fucking rein that shit in. Remember, like, y'all can go back. 2 years ago, I said to rein this shit in. Because some of the people, they take it too far. Like, it's like, I think criticism and feedback, and even being a dick with your feedback is like, that's not good. But okay, this guy's a dick. But people just go too far. Like, and it never gets reined in. I think that's what the problem is. Is like especially I remember like with like the Empyrean thing. Like, Empyreans made some like dumb fucking comparison about like people in Africa, or like some starving African kid or something like that, about how life wasn't fair. And like people were just in the comments like insulting this guy on like a personal level. Meanwhile, this is a dude that plays video games for a living. Like, what do you think? You think he wants kids to starve in Africa? You think that like, oh, what the fuck? Like, it's not a big deal. Like, it's like it's so disproportionate and it's so like maladjusted that you just can't have people like that dictate the dialogue. Because if you do, you're just never going to get anything done. You can't let that happen.
More the same way. There was so many like not everything's bad. Like obviously like criticism is great, and there like a lot of people start.
It's not about being too aggro. It's about making things personal. I think that you can be super aggro, but don't make things personal. That's the difference. I think that it's just it's so simple for anybody who knows what the sun looks like. If you know what grass feels like, you know what the sun looks like, you know what the difference is. We don't need to go over this.
Like crying when there's any criticism, and that's not what I'm talking about.
No.
But there are so many comments. I mean, thankfully, very often they're downvoted and stuff, but you will like, if you sift through the comments before the mods delete them, you'll see like literally people saying like, oh, I hope the developers fucking die.
Just
and like really least sane comments like that. So when you're like seeing stuff like that, it's like, bruh. Like they do get deleted, but like there's some like insane comments, unhinged comments. How many people had Last League as their favorite league ever? Because it was for me. So I think that makes this be such a stark comparison.
Maybe I missed out.
Because I feel like I was running and they just chopped up off my legs. And now I'm like, I'm wading through shit right now. And,
I love the metaphors and the analogies they
I think it's just the fact that I'm getting pissed on from so many different angles. It's not just...
Another metaphor.
It's not just one...
stream.
...angle of piss. It's like... I have like no fucking items. I'm struggling so hard for gear.
Yeah.
Like I actually have okay-ish gear now, but it's taken a lot. And the fact that like the league mechanic is unenjoyable, gear is really hard. I don't know. It's rough. Anyway, we'll end the video there. Blame me or whatever in the comments. I don't know if I had a bad or a good take. That's just how I feel. Thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.
I think that was fair. I mean, like, again, I feel like also, like, there's no real reason to allow people that are vitriolic on a personal level to be part of the community. It's bad. It also, like, if you give them an inch, they take a mile. Like, the moment that you start letting people do that, then they just keep going. But, I mean, I'm not going to go around and fucking... Like, yeah, there are people on the PoE Reddit and in the PoE community that are dicks. That's the same with every community. It's the same in my community. It's the same on Twitch. It's the same on YouTube. It's the same in WoW. It's the same in Diablo. It's the same in every fucking game. It is what it is, and you just have to deal with it. However, the fucking people on Reddit did not nerf the loot drops. The fucking company did that. The company did that, and so that's what really the focus is. Like, I am a huge supporter of PoE. I've been a huge supporter of PoE for, I think probably at this point over 10 years. Like, if I had to guess, ever since the closed beta. And the fact is that I think that PoE does respond to a lot of criticism, and they are one of the more in-tune development studios with their community. That's why I think a lot of these changes come at such a surprise, because people are like, what the fuck? Why is this happening? This isn't what we're used to. And the fact is that Path of Exile is, in my opinion, the best ARPG on the market, and there is no other game that even comes remotely close. Now, if you like super simple games, you're going to enjoy Diablo 3, maybe a bit more. I think that's totally okay. But for people that are hardcore players, Path of Exile is their fucking game. And that's why I want to see this shit get fixed. I've watched the PoE 2 footage, and I'm excited for that fucking game. And I want to continue being excited for the game. I understand that it is better, and I think that there is value in slowing down the maps a little bit more. You know, yes, maybe somebody should not be clearing 3 different screens in front of them with like the explodey chest. I thought the explodey chest nerf, I love the explodey chest, okay? I thought it was fucking amazing. However, I saw why they nerfed it. I think it was probably a good idea to nerf it because every build was built around it. Like, if there's ever an item that everybody has to get the same item, then you need to change that fucking item or figure out why it's fun and then implement it in a way that it doesn't remove a choice out of the game. However, that does not necessarily mean that every single thing that they did do is good. I think that in a lot of ways they do make the right decisions. And I think that, like, for example, itemizing the Calandra maps proactively, because it took them years to do that with the Alva missions, and then they proactively did that with the Calandra maps. That's one of the big things. I saw that and I was like, oh man, this league's going to be really good. They've really thought this thing out. Apparently that's not what happened. However, it's what I think still can happen. And the fact is that people have played this game forever. They're going to keep playing it. People might play Diablo 3 for a few days. They're going to hit the plateau like everybody else does. And then they're going to probably go back to PoE because it just has way more depth. And so we need to make this game better. Like, it needs to get better. And I think that all these people that aren't happy are not just crying on Reddit. I think that they are being legitimate. I think that they do care. Whenever you see people that play the game professionally, one after another, people that love the fucking game, just completely just demoralized, done, something needs to change. That's it. So that's the way I feel about it. And I really hope that they make some changes. I'll read some comments, and then I want to do a couple of other things. Because it removes corpses. That's actually a really good point. I never thought about that, Dark. But yeah, you're right. The explodey chest, for performance reasons at times, I ran it because it looked really cool to clear a whole screen with the explodies. That's why. And seems worse than Blizzard. 0 testing or feedback is given to ignore most of it. Chris Wilson doesn't think the criticism was solid. But, like, isn't that good, though, that you have a dialogue with Chris Wilson rather than at Blizzard whenever you complain about Azerite armor and then the change isn't made for, like, 6 months, and then whenever the change is made, it's made in a half-hearted way, and then the expansion comes out. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, Grinding Gear Games is responding to this quickly, but it's just not it's not an adequate enough response yet. That's all. Yeah, we hear you, exactly. Chris is literally donawalling us. No, he's not. He's saying that you're wrong, and that's fine, right? I would rather have a developer. This is my opinion. I would rather have a developer tell me that I'm wrong than not tell me anything. Now, ideally, I would rather have a developer say, you know what? You're right about everything you think. We're going to change the game and make it exactly the way you want it, right? But, like, I understand that. I can respect that they want to have their position, but I think that you can have your cake and eat it too. Just give better rewards for the mobs. I think most people will be happy. That's it. And so, well, do you think games are getting worse because the target audience is younger? We keep getting older. No, bro. Like, it's just that the league has a fucked up mechanic, and they did this weird thing with loot, and people are mad. Like, this isn't a fucking existential crisis. It's just that the loot's fucked up in the game. Like, this is actually one of the one games that I can just say, like, this isn't some fucking sign to the times. This isn't like an existential, reality check. It's just fucked. That's all. Games aren't getting worse. You see it from a developer POV, not gamer POV. It's not rocket science. Well, I think that you can see it from their POV, absolutely. Divine Change by far is one of the worst things they did, in my opinion. It's one of those things, right, where it's... I think Chris Wilson wants people to use Exalted Orbs more as, like, a fucking, almost like a gotcha mechanic. I feel like that's what they want players to do. And I'm not even entirely opposed to that. I mean, there are some times I'll say, hey, let Jesus take the wheel. I'll just see what's going to happen, right? But why not just make more exalts drop? Yeah, I don't know. Let's buy some orbs. Yeah, exactly. I love being able to exalt my clusters. Yeah, like I think exalting clusters is probably exalting clusters and like 4 out of 5 or like 3 out of 4 jewels. Like you've got fucking like you have like burning damage 20, crit multi is 8, 7% life, and you exalt the bitch. Absolutely. Not being able to divine your gear reasonably is just way more annoying. I used to slam my gear all the time. Slamming gear is definitive. Yeah, you like, I think slamming is good. Slamming is good, but that shouldn't be the only thing. The only problem with divine change is Harbinger's garbage. Getting 16 exalt shards feels awful. You're getting exalt shards? Wait, what? Since when? What do I have to read? Like, when? How's this been happening? Yeah, this guy figured it out. Yeah, who is this guy? Yeah, what is this? Is this a private server? Someone's getting loot. Wrong game? Yeah. To watch Empyrean's video explains the problem with the loot. Well, I mean, like, you don't need a problem. You like, I don't need an explanation. The loot's fucked. We're not getting enough loot, period. All right, there it is. I don't care about the math. That's not my job. Loot's fucked. We want more loot. That's about it. I know the Empyrean video. I will watch it off stream. Getting a shit roll, not being able to divine it feels so bad. Yeah, it's like, why? Like, what's the point of that? Aren't RMT shops getting more profit out of it due to the nerfs? I mean, like, there's like 3 different variables with that. I would not. I would say no. In general, no. Would become addicted to loot? Yeah. Are you new? Like I'm a little bit like, I mean, what do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean? ARPGs are fucking Skinner boxes. That's the point. Yeah, exactly. They're great. I love them. They're fun. The divine change was made because players broke the timeless jewel code. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a good time. They broke the code. That's so crazy. A game built around spreadsheets and the fucking... Bro, Path of Building requires more processing power than the game itself. You think people aren't going to be able to figure that out? Come on. I just want to see them fix this shit, man. Like, just fix the game so it's good again. That's all I really have to say. I'm turning off my fucking cam. I'm going to do another map. Should make the game Duke Nukem. Yeah, Duke Nukem forever. That's what it is right now. It's Duke Nukem forever. Where the fuck is this? Where's the button to turn off the camera? There it is. I'm gonna do like a couple more of that. I need to go to bed. When's PoE 2 coming out? I don't know. I think it just did. We'll see. I'm not going to do any Tower of Fantasy tonight. It's just kind of late, and I don't want to start a new game. I'll do it tomorrow. Thank you for investing in the PoE community. I love PoE. I have played PoE for a very long time. I want this game to be good because I think that it's a fun game to play. Yeah, and that's why I am talking about it. I just hope that things improve. I think that's really just all there is to it.
Greetings.
Shut up.
I must have time to gather my will.
I'm missing a buff. I'm actually missing, I think I'm missing 2 buffs. There it is. Used to do Lost Ark, you completely quit the game. I mean, completely quit the game. No, I haven't completely quit the game. I haven't been playing Lost Ark because I've been playing this game in Tower of Fantasy. I'm pretty much caught up. Do you think it's weird that we, although we hate predatory microtransactions, we demand more loot? You know, not making any defining statement? No, I think it's like, that's like saying, it's like, can you believe that people want, you know, they want more money out of a job, but then at the same time they spend their money on the internet? Seems a bit weird, right? Oh, you want more money out of your job, but what do you do whenever you get the money out of your job? Well, you're spending it on the internet. Okay. No, I feel like these two things are not related in any capacity at all. Oh, I need to do... Wait, I literally can't do it with my... Because I don't have enough Regal Orbs to buff my flasks. I'm out of Regal Orbs.
Purity will prevail.
Or sorry, no, you're right. It's 4 in the morning. I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna go to bed pretty soon. Chill out. Genshin 3.0 drops the 18th. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna play it on release. It just seems unlikely. Lightning balls pog as fuck. Yeah, the lightning balls are fun. There are some negatives, but I like the build.
I must have time to gather my will.
Ah, damn, why are they doing so much damage?
My mana is spent.
Alright. So like out of that map I got 2 orbs of alchemy. That's crazy.
Godslayer.
It's lit. I'll take this one and I'm gonna do the exact same. Oh, players can't regenerate, so I literally can't do this map. Okay, I can do this map. So like now we're down because I had to chaos roll it. So like we have to get at least 2 chaos orbs out of this in order to break even.
Looks like our guest of honor has finally arrived.
See? Even Nightmare.
I wasn't just like the old days.
I am a Zackrawrr, crushing my enemies! Well, you've passed my test. To the victor go. And the strong get stronger.
See, that could be worth something.
I must have time to gather my will.
Oh wow, 3 orbs of alchemy. Okay, that now we're looking good. Beat the game. Is that a boss? Yeah, that's a boss. Big dick. Maybe I should have kited him back over so I could kill him again for more of the ritual stuff. I probably should have done that, but I didn't really give a fuck. Because you kill him outside of it, now he's not going to do it again. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god. Wow.
I must have time to gather my will.
I got an orb of annulment. Actually, this is actually kind of a big boy. We're doing all right here. This is a good map so far. We've made money. Fuck, this is getting even harder. Now the map's fighting against me? Is this a new Shaper mod? Katara's determination. Maybe I should use that. It seems really good. Let's see what I can get. It's a 5-link. No. No. I want to go with that one because I'm gonna roll. Oh, is that good? That's bad. Guys, I don't want to do like this thing where like people whisper me, because like I get that anybody that's watching, like I appreciate y'all watching, but like I don't want people to whisper because like it's like not fair to everybody else in the chat. D&D? No, I can, but then what if somebody wants to buy something from me? Like on the trade side? You see what I'm saying?
Use me, you did. Strength in numbers, friend. My head still hurts.
I wonder if I'm gonna die here. No?
I choose. You dishonor me. Hateness. What a waste. Even an ignorant. The tapestry we weave is complex indeed.
Oh fuck, I had to do these first. Unveil. That's actually a pretty good item. That's pretty good. Does Frenzy Charge increase your... Oh, it's only for fucking quivers, who cares? Let's see. This could be okay. Oh wait, no it's not. It's garbage. Okay, 14 CDR. Let's see. I need to get this one too. Just put this down for a second.
Long day. It's a decent trade. Let's go. I know I'm pretty happy.
I'm rich? Yeah, I know. That's a lot of money, man.
I must have time to gather my will.
Oh.
Exile?
Alright, that's not too bad.
Keep your eyes sharp.
Good morning. Yeah, on that note, I need to go to bed. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'll probably be back on whenever I wake up. Oh. That's good. Thanks, guys. I'll see y'all later. Peace.